Hello, my name's Liv Hunt and I'm a participatory theatre maker living in Newcastle. My practice centres around telling, sharing and imagining stories, and I use lots of different art forms to do that, but one of my favourite ways is through puppetry. So what I'm going to show you how to do today is how to make your own shadow puppet theatre, really simply, just using a cardboard box which you might find lying around the house. I'm then going to show you how to make the shadow puppets that go with it. So just to show you what that might look like, I've made one here, just out of a cardboard box. I'm going to put the light on behind it, and what that does is just illuminates the screen. And I wanted to tell a story about an egg who falls out the nest because it can't stop moving and grooving. So I've got my nest here and I've got the eggs there, and that's going to set me up for the story. So yeah, I'm going to take you through the steps now and I hope you enjoy. So what will you need to make your shadow puppet theatre and puppets? Well, first of all, you're going to have to find yourself a cardboard box, which you might have lying around the house. You'll also need some kebab sticks. These are to operate your puppet. You'll need some Pritt stick glue, a pencil, a rubber, some sticky tape, a craft knife. You can get this from the hardware store or a craft knife from a craft store. But if you don't have one of these, then don't worry, you can use scissors, but it's just a little bit easier to use a craft knife. You'll also need a ruler, an A4 piece of paper. This is just printer paper. This is going to be your screen for your shadow puppet theatre. And you'll need some black card, and these will make your shadow puppets. Okay, so the first thing that you've got to do is to cut the frame in the front of the box where your screen is going to be. So you do have to do a little bit of maths depending on the size of your box. For this box in particular, I've used quite a square box and quite a narrow box, so I'm just kind of fiddling with the maths to see what the best size would be for this frame. All I do know is that for it to fit properly, the frame needs to be bigger than the size of paper that you want. So I've put my size of paper here, and I've seen that I'm going to need quite a bit at the top and quite a bit at the bottom. I'm just going to come in slightly on the side. So what I've decided to do is come in 2 centimetres on each side this way, and I'm going to come in 5 centimetres on this side. So that means that when I come to sticking the white piece of paper down, there'll be enough card for it to stick onto. So I'm just going to do that now. And there we go, I've got my first screen where the screen of white paper is going to go. So I'm just going to cut that out now using my craft knife. And again, if you don't have one of these, then you can just use scissors. So now we need to cut out the sides where you're going to operate the puppets. So I've done that on this side, and I've come in 5 down here, and I've come in 3 there. So we're just going to do the same on this side. And there we go, we've got our sides cut out. And keep hold of this card because you can use this to decorate your shadow puppet theatre at the end. And then lastly, we just need to cut a hole in the back where the lamp will go to light up the screen. So to make the hole in the back, we're just going to take your sticky tape and put it down, draw around it, and then you're going to cut out that circle there. Okay, so you're nearly done with your shadow puppet theatre. The last thing you've got to do is put your screen down. So you're going to grab your Pritt stick and you're going to glue down the inside of your screen. And you're just going to do a nice generous spread of glue. And then after you've done that, you're going to take your piece of printer paper and you're going to place it into the box and press it down. And then once you've done that, you should have your screen. And don't worry if you need to cut down your piece of paper. I haven't needed to for this particular box, but you might need to, and that's absolutely fine. So I'm just going to do that now, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I've done that now, and you really want to make sure that you glue it down so no light can get through, because otherwise that will ruin your shadows. So now that I've done that, I'm just going to tape the top down again so that no light can get in, and then I'm going to decorate the box. And you can choose to decorate it whichever way you like. You can go at it with glitter, or you can stick to some more cardboard and black paper. Whatever you've got to hand, you can use to decorate. Okay, great, you've finished your Shadow Puppet Theatre. I've decorated mine. I've added this piece of cardboard here, which just gives it a little bit of height and just frames it quite nicely. I've done a cardboard cutout of a circle and added a moon and some stars, and that's what I'm going to be doing for my Shadow Puppet Theatre, but you can jazz it up however way you like to. Now we're going to start making our shadow puppets. So at the beginning I said I wanted to tell a story about a bird's nest in a tree, and one of the eggs falls out and then a chick hatches from that. You can create whatever story you want to. You can do that by just using your imagination and coming up with your own story, or you can use a book that you already love and use the characters from that. And that can also help with your drawing as well. If, like me, you're not a great confident drawer, then you can stencil the characters in your favourite book and bring them to life that way. So what I've done is I've already drawn out on my black piece of card, so this is when you'll need your black piece of card. I've drawn out, you won't be able to see it probably, but there's a chick and the chick coming out of the egg, and then I've got another egg and it's got a crack in it. So I'm just going to cut those out, and once I cut those out I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so I've cut out all the characters for my story, and now all I need to do is add the kebab sticks. So you're going to take one of your puppets. I'm using double-sided sticky tape. If you don't have that, then don't worry. You can use regular tape. And then I'm just going to take my kebab stick, place it on top, press down, and then that is my puppet ready for the show. Now, one of my puppets has got a little bit of movement. That's my groovy chicken. I've added a little wing, and this just kind of brings it to life a little bit more. So if you are wanting to make a little bit more of a complex movable puppet, then I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so if you are wanting to make a little bit more of a groovy chicken, then all you need extra is a gold paper fastener, doesn't have to be gold, whatever colour you like, and a hole puncher. And what you need to do is just cut out a wing out of black paper so that it measures up, and obviously this is completely dependent on the story that you're wanting to do, but just choose something that has got movement in it anyway. So with a chicken, obviously the little wing is flapping, so I've just cut out another wing. I'm going to put it on to my chicken design. I'm then going to hole punch it like that. I'm going to take my gold fastener, put it in, and then there we go, it's got a little bit of movement. And then all you need to do is when you're attaching the kebab stick, you need to attach one to the chicken and then also to the wing so that you can move it. And you're finished. You've made your shadow theatre, you've made your puppets. All there is to do now is turn the lights off, grab your lamp and put it behind the theatre where the hole is, and then you're ready to tell your story. I hope you enjoyed making your shadow theatre and puppets today. Thank you very much for listening. The Tale of the Groovy Chicken. Once upon a time, at the top of a tree, there was a nest, and this nest belonged to Mother Bird. Coo, coo, coo. Mother Bird tended to her eggs very carefully, and every day she would fly off in search for worms. Coo! But while she was gone, there was one little egg who couldn't stop moving. Little Egg would jiggle and wriggle and bump into all her brothers and sisters. Ooh, ow, oh, oi! One day she jiggled so much that she flew out of her nest and onto the ground. Thump! Oh dear. little egg started to crack. Crack! And out popped a little beak. And soon this beak started to tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet. Wow! The little chick was so excited to see the world around her, she started to move again and eventually broke free of her little egg and became a chicken. Tweet, 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 tweet. The little chick moved and grooved all day long, but soon she started to feel lonely. She needed someone to dance with. This made little chick very, very sad. Oh. But then, in the corner of her eye, she spotted something moving in an unusual way. It was one of her brothers and sisters. Crack! The end.